Well, hello everybody. Hi Chibies. Here's Alexandra and welcome to my stream. Last thing I showed you was how to make these nice little paint handles with a pepper grinder. Ta-da! They are still working. Since I've cleaned this one. If you want to clean glue rests from glass containers, I highly recommend lighter gasoline. With that you can clean up glue rests really easy. Yeah, and this is how they work. But today we are using different paint handle, good old Citadel one, and we're painting some plague barriers. So we need a green for that first. So how is everyone? Sorry that my stream was out of commission for quite a while. That's because my internet connection was really rubbish. I had connection issues since 2019. There was a big renovation here in the house where my apartment is, and since then my internet connection was damaged. Well, the renovation was so severe they used sledgehammers and other power tools to rip out walls here in the house, and there was a constant bombardment of real heavy vibrations in the entire house, and so through that the internet connection was damaged in that process. And ever since I had real problems with my internet, and unfortunately for all that time my provider couldn't figure out what caused the problem, and they sent one technician after the other, and well, long story short, it got more and more severe, and to the point where my internet was basically non-functional at all whatsoever. And yeah, then I finally got the improvement from my landlord that they sent an electrician to my house and check out the situation, and they finally figured out that the connection in the wall from my apartment to the basement, where the connection to the street itself is. Normally the technicians from my provider only could check out the connection from the street, or from the basement to the street, and basically the last meters in the walls they could not check. Yeah, and now finally the electrician could find the defect, and they well, ripped out the cable from the wall in my staircase, and then they replaced the cable and ever since my connection is now back again. So I tested the connection now for a few weeks more to be sure that everything is working properly, and finally I can stream again. Yay! Well, right now I'm talking into the ether, nobody's listening, but Maybe in the future somebody will watch the VOD. That's highly probable. So if you do, hello! Today is May the 5th, or Revenge of the 5th. Yesterday was May the 4th, be with you, Star Wars Day. Yes, I celebrated the Star Wars Day with watching episode 9 and 10 of the Maul Shadowlord show. Oh, we have someone watching. Rolando Rates. Afternoon, welcome back to the modern electric age. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's good to be back. So, how have you been? Hope everything's okay with you. So the color scheme for my plague bearers is quite easy. I started with a white primer, as you can see at the swords here. Then I used contrast warp lightning and let that dry. Then my first coat is this green here. This is a mixture just out of dark green and some yellow. But I guess you could use mood green or something like that. And now I'm just adding some yellow to that. And I'm overbrushing them quite heavily with a very damaged brush. So nothing super fancy here in terms of painting technique. But I can paint them relatively quickly that way. From Rolando, I've been magnetizing Warriors of Chaos infantry for Warhammer the Old World. Oh, nice. Magnetizing? In what way? Are you magnetizing the base or the weapons? And another chatter. Bitwraith Miniature Painting 6624. Greetings. Hello. Oh, the weapons. Okay. So what weapons do you swap out? Let me guess. Halberds and hand weapon and shield? Or great weapons? Or all three? Or two hand weapons? So, tell me if the music is loud enough or not loud enough. If you can hear me properly. Somehow I have to rearrange all the settings every time I start OBS. No idea why it does not save my settings, but eh. It is what it is. Halberds, great weapons, standard music instrument, one weapon for left and right hand, and also empty hand. Well, that's quite a lot of magnets. Music is good. You're coming through fine for me. Wonderful. Thank you for giving me the feedback there. Next up comes pure yellow. A little bit more light, so I can actually see what I'm doing. That might help a lot in there. Hashtag might. Hashtag a lot. No idea how that works, but I'm old. No, that's the wrong yellow. I'm wondering why it's not so vibrant. I want them to be really having a nice yellow pop, you know? There we go. Much better. Much better. So how many Chaos Warriors are we talking about? 10-man unit, 20-man? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 magnets per miniature. Times 10 is 40, times 20 is 80 magnets. It's quite expensive. Also, do you really need that many different weapon loadouts? Do you change them so often? $30, wow. Now we are really talking big time. So what I do for magnetization is mostly the following. I magnetize the body. Let's say this is the Chaos Warrior. I would magnetize then the body of the Chaos Warrior and one set of weapons that I really want on them. Let's say hand weapon and shield, because they look cool. Okay, and then what I would do, I would set all the weapons apart in a separate box that I want to have as options. And that's it. I would not magnetize those weapon options. Only when the need arises. So for example, a new meta comes out now, instead of hand weapon and shield, two-handed weapons are the hot shit, and then I would go to my bits box, grab out all the two-handed weapons and magnetize those and paint those, and voila, we have now new options for the Chaos Warriors. So, but if you're magnetizing every weapon option and painting every weapon option but never use them, then you're basically doing work that is not necessary, when you know what I mean. Okay, from Rolando, 2 magnets for the body, 2 magnets for the halberds, standard and great weapon, and 1 for one-hand weapon, shield, musical instrument, and empty hand. Yeah, that's quite a lot of magnets. So, do you really need all the options now? Or do you need the body to be magnetizable so that you can later come back to it if the need arises? Don't work harder, work smarter. You know? So for example, my Imperial Knights, I have magnetized the weapons. One weapon for each Imperial Knight. So if the need arises, I can then buy on eBay a new set of weapons. So for example, the new Imperial Knight here with the plasma cannon and then the other cannon and the shield on top. I could theoretically buy those, just the weapons, magnetize those, paint those up, and voila, I can field the new Imperial Knight without having to paint an entire new Imperial Knight. Well, I have been searching on eBay for the new weapon loadout for quite some time. Right now, everyone buys the new knight, gets the new weapon, and sells all the old weapons and the body of the knights without the new weapon. So right now it's quite impossible for me to buy the new weapon, but theoretically I could if that happened. Or I could just print the new weapon. Also an impossibility. I'm covering every permutation just in case. Yeah, like I said, grab the weapons that you really want, put those on magnetized, and put the other stuff aside. Or you could magnetize the other weapons but not paint them. No? Just to save yourself some work. I'm not trying to convince you to stop the magnetizing. Absolutely not. Magnetize all you want. Go for it. I'm just trying to save you a little bit of work. It might not be necessary. So what I'm doing now is here I'm taking this purple speed paint, aka contrast paint, and I'm dipping here every pimple of the Poxwalker, not Poxwalker, I always forget it, Plague Bearer, that's the name. Oh, by the way, with this stream, I'm officially now 2 months smoke-free. I have stopped smoking. How did I manage that? Well, good question. For years I've tried to stop smoking and nothing really worked. I always went ahead and bought myself cigarettes anyway. And the only way I could overcome that urge was to be absolutely so broke that I couldn't afford new smoke, new tobacco. And therefore I managed to quit smoking. because, well, if you have the nicotine out of your system, which takes roughly 2 to 3 days, you don't have any urge again. You see, the nicotine works in a wave pattern. So you're smoking your first cigarette in the morning, the nicotine balance goes up, and then it goes down, and your body says, okay, we need new nicotine, new cigarette, and it goes up, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down, and that only works as long as you have nicotine in the system. If you flush yourself from all the nicotine for 2 to 3 days, you're basically free. No need anymore after that. No nicotine tapes, no gums, no nothing. The tricky part is how to get yourself to the 3 days of nicotine freedom. For me, it was being absolutely broke. I was totally rock bottom. So if you want to quit smoking, I highly recommend to, well, get yourself in a situation where you can't get yourself fresh tobacco or cigarettes. Let Warhammer be the new compulsive addiction that replaces nicotine. Yeah, I recently saw a meme where you had 4 different squares. One square crack before and after, and they always looked terrible. Then meth before and after, and then plastic crack, Warhammer. Totally normal dude, and then the picture after was just smiling. Yeah, plastic crack before smoke or crack. The hardest part for me is for the not smoking. When I'm here at home, no problem whatsoever. Or when I do my daily routines or I go outside, everything is normal. The only time where I have an urge to buy cigarettes is at the grocery store at the cash registry. There I am facing my old enemy. This is where I normally buy the tobacco, packets of cigarettes. And for now I could avoid these urges by buying a pack of chewing gum instead, or buying a package of Chupa Chup lollies. Sure, I've missed here and there a box like there. Okay. That should cover it. So, do you have any crippling, financially addictive products that you use? Like smoking, alcohol, vaping, plastic crack, what have you? By the way, the music we are listening to is Cyberpunk Industrial Dark Synth from Widespread Audio. Twitch safe music. Remind me that I have to put that into the video description after the stream. Otherwise, my video will be claimed. No. Right now, gasoline. Yeah, that's a hefty drug. Quite pricey, indeed. I went to plastic crack rehabilitation clinic, but I'm still not cured. Yeah. The only way to get cured from plastic crack is by 3D printing methadone. I'm using that quite a lot myself. So beside the Chaos Warriors, here a bit of Wrath miniatures. What's on your painting desk right now? GW are experts at triggering FOMO. Yeah, they have played through the meta. They have mastered all the FOMO builds. They know how to get you. But I must say, for a few miniatures from the new box set that's coming out in summer, the captain looks juicy. I want him. We want him. We need him. Nighthound. I'm working on an old Soul Wars box. Oh, nice. I have still also some Nighthound here that needs painting. What color are you going for? My Nighthounds are neon green and black. Nighthound and Muffins as well, which is weird because most of those minis are either outdated or in strange numbers. It's just Warriors of Chaos and Orcs, Goblins, Infantry on my painting desk. Greetings from England. Hello, Michael Make More 633. Welcome to the stream. Anything particular on your desk, Michael? You're getting the Warhammer 40k 11th edition starter set. I'm thinking about it, but I'm not a fan of monopose. Well, if you're speaking German, in my podcast with Luca, my German podcast called Podcast Eternals, I'm talking quite a lot about monopose and the notion that it is bad, and to be frank, I'm pro monopose miniatures. I love monopose miniatures. Please give me more. Give me more monopose miniatures directly into my vein. Here. Directly. Here. Give it to me. Long. I've been using that Briar Queen Chill and Nighthound Bloom, simple but fast painting. Briar Queen Chill, what color is that? I don't know. Nighthound Gloom is this turquoise right now. Right, yes? I think I have that. Is that it? Nighthound Gloom, yeah, it's Nighthound Gloom. This color here. Okay, so bluish gray and Briar Queen Chill. Sounds like a blue. From Big Wraith Miniatures. My 40k armies are Chaos Marines and Necrons, so nothing much for me in that new box. Yeah, if you have no use for the miniatures, nobody is forcing you to buy that. That's the good thing about the hobby. Even with massive FOMO, you are not really forced to buy anything. It's just a brain thing, just like smoking. It's a brain worm that is attacking your senses. They burrow inside and then tell you, you need it now! So don't worry if there's nothing for you in the box. There will be other instances where you will happily open your wallet and say, give it to me. Give it to me now. We all know that this day will come. It comes for all of us. So the starter boxes, they're not for everyone. They're a starter box. It's totally okay if a formal project or product is not for you. You're not the target audience, and that's okay. The target audience for those boxes are, in fact, new players, not veteran players. If you have already your 3000 point Space Marines army, like me, or you have a totally different army, or 2 or 3, you don't need to jump on the hype train. It's totally okay to skip a promo. You will lose nothing in the end. For example, I will not buy the entire box. I haven't done that for Dark Imperium, and I haven't done it for Indomitus, and I haven't done it for Leviathan. How did I purchase those models afterwards? Well, let me tell you, there are ways to get those miniatures cheaper, even way cheaper than GW has ever seen. And this way is called the collection magazines of Hachette. All those starter box miniatures will eventually end up in a Hachette magazine nowadays. You had Warhammer Conquest, you had Warhammer Imperium, you had Warhammer Spearhead, you had Warhammer... No, Spearhead is coming up. You had Warhammer Combat Patrol, and now coming up Spearhead, and so on. And Warhammer Stormbringer, and how they are all called. And you get the miniatures for way cheaper than normally GW would like you to purchase those miniatures for. I can highly recommend that. So let's talk about monopose. You cut that theme. Hello, Great Range. Welcome to the stream. We are currently listening to White Bat Audio, and right now it's running 80s synthwave. Feel the heat. Royalty free, no copyright background music. Excuse me for a second while I blow my nose. Okay, there I'm back. So, about the monopose. Back in the day, I'm coming from an age far beyond the turn of the century. I started with Warhammer 40k when the second edition Warhammer 40k starter box just was released. And back in those days, we had only monopose miniatures. And let me tell you about what a monopose miniature really is. So, what you're conceiving as a monopose miniature right now, for example, this Space Marine here, it's monopose, yes. But in those boxes you have also this Space Marine. It looks totally different. There's a different pair of legs. Then you have this Space Marine. He also looks different. Yes, they are monopose. That means when you buy the box 2 or 3 times, you have those miniatures 2 or 3 times. But this is a dynamic miniature, and also is this. And you have both of those, right? And you have 10 of those. Or 20, or 30. In different configurations. So for example, you have 10 of the assault intercessors, then you have 10 intercessors, and they also look different. So right now you have 20 miniatures with no doubles. Then you buy a box of incursors, also 10 new miniatures, all monopose, but you have no doubles in your army. And then you buy a box of, let's say, aggressors. There are 3 aggressors in the box. Okay, everyone knows that the aggressors have their static pose. You have 3 different variations of that, and that's it. You have your 3 aggressors. But you have still no doubles so far. So now let's go back to the year 1994. And you have your box of 2nd edition Warhammer 40k. You open that, and you get 20 orc boys. And they look all the same. Every single one of them have the same pose. And then you look at the Space Marines. Every single one, except the Sergeant, looks the same. And back in the day, that was all we had. Then we go to the Warhammer Fantasy side. We had the starter box with High Elves versus Goblins. You had the Goblin Spearman. Every single one the same. Then you had the Spearman from the High Elves. Every single one the same. Then you had the Archers from the High Elves. Every single one the same. Those were really monopose miniatures. But what you're getting today are really highly detailed and highly customized miniatures. Not customizable, but customized. Customized by Games Workshop. Yes, your miniatures will look the same as the miniature from Steve and the miniature from Jacqueline or whoever buys that miniature. But for your army, you're having the same miniature once, because there are enough poses so you don't have doubles in your army. So for example, let's go to a different army. We go to, let's say, Nurgle. You have a box with 7 different Plague Marines. Okay? Then you have a box with 3 Snapfit Plague Marines. Now we are at a count of 10. Then you have another box of 7 Plague Marines from the Space Marine Heroes set. And then you have another box of 3 Chaos Space Marines that are Space Marine reinforcements for the Death Guard. Now we are already at 20 Plague Marines that are not the same. Every single one is still its own miniature. You're with me so far? So I don't see personally the problem with monopose miniatures. I don't see it. I wish for you to please come with me with counter arguments why you think that the monopose miniatures are bad. So if we're thinking about, yeah, the miniatures back in the day, you could always pose them however you like them. Yeah, okay, let's face that problem. See, this is a Space Marine. They have a V-shaped pair of legs, then you have a torso, arms with a bolter in the hand, and a head and a backpack. Okay, the good old Space Marine set had the legs, then separate the torso, then separate the arms, shoulder pads, and the head, and the backpack. Okay, now you have your superposability. So the arms will always go in this configuration. One arm always like this, and one arm always like this, holding the bolter. You can maybe pose the arm a little bit up or down, but basically it's always the same, always facing this direction. The legs will always look the same, always this V shape. You have no real dynamic pose in the miniature. They always look like that. Here in the modern Marine, you have a more dynamic pose with one leg back here, for example, or you have running poses or kneeling poses or whatever different poses you have, right? Then you have the torso. The torso was turnable. Okay, you could turn the torso a little bit up and down and left and right and so, but the human physiology doesn't allow that the torso is 50 degrees like this, 90 degrees or what have you, right? So you're always in a very similar pose. Same goes for the head. The head you can a little bit pose to the left or the right, but basically what I'm saying is, even that the Marines are posable, if you buy enough of them, they look in the end the same still. Oh, there we have an argument. You give a monopose miniature a quick glance during a game and you can't tell what weapon they are carrying. Well, just ask your opponent if you're not sure what weapon they have. So, what's the problem to discern of a bolter what that weapon is? It's a bolter. And then you have your orcs. They have either a hand axe and a bolt pistol, or pistol in this one, or they have a two-handed shooter. Yeah, and you have a mixture of those orcs. Yes, this was a bad example of Games Workshop to mix weapon profiles in one box for monopose miniatures. And they have now fixed that problem with the 11th edition, that the orcs nowadays have always both options. So in game now it will be totally free however you want to customize your orcs or have them built out of the box. They always have both options regardless how the miniature looks. So from Great Range, I personally think I prefer pre-post versus models that can be manipulated. Also, multiple poses are nice, but I don't think it's too inconvenient to have an army of the same poses. Yeah, so you're a pro monopose miniatures, yes? So I came from a time where we have those monopose miniatures, and back in the day in the 2nd edition you had your box of 10 Space Marines. They all looked the same. You had the sergeant that looked a little bit different with a chainsaw to the side and the bolt pistol to the front. And then you had the missile launcher Marine that was also a different sculpt than normal Marines. The Flamer had the same bolter. weapon type, but then it was just click on flamer. But it was basically the same miniature. Then you had some metal miniatures, but they were always also the same. I suppose, yeah, this is the first time I'm learning about monopose. From Lead City Customs. Indomitus Box had some of the best dynamic action monoposes. The Indomitus Box. That was the one with the bikes, and then the sword blade guard veterans, and the assault intercessors. Yes? Yeah. Yeah, they had some really nice miniatures in there. So let's grab one again. So this one, for example, a little bit dusty, but here, look, this is a running pose from an Indomitus Space Marine. Back in the day, you would dream about such a miniature. He's really running. Back in the day, you had the Korn Berserker box set that had also running Marines in there, but the running pose was still a static pose. Just one leg was with a 45-degree angle. That was the running pose back then, absolutely static. And this is a dynamic running pose. So now we come to the issue of customizability. Most monopose miniatures, you have basically the torso, but still the arms and shoulder pad and head can be swapped. Yes, there are some miniatures where parts of the shoulder pad are fused with the torso, and then maybe the head is part of the torso, but an experienced customizer can still clip those parts out and yeah, and completely remodel the miniature. So you could cut off the part where the shoulder pad is attached to the torso. You slice that off, then you take the second part and glue the shoulder pads together. Then you can adjust the arm, or you have a pack here in the shoulder pad that determines that the arm is always this position, but you could simply cut off the pack and turn the arm however you like. And so this monopose miniatures will still be able to be well, malleable by your customizing options or customizing abilities. And the more you do it, the more experienced you become in customizing your miniatures. That's part of the hobby. And all those miniatures have, let's say 80% to 90% of the time, have spare heads that you can freely swap out for 3D printed heads or what have you. For example, all my Space Marines from the Crimson Vow have already Mark 7 helmets, like that what they are doing now for the Armageddon box. So they are still customizable. So, and for the Death Guard, I have already customized so many Death Guard Marines with some here from the Putrid Blight Kings from Warhammer Age of Sigmar or Warhammer Fantasy. They are so well, with Death Guard Marines you can do whatever you like. That's the fun part about Death Guard. That's the wrong orange. That's the orange. So, but enough of that. Let's go back to painting. So for my black bearers, I simply take here Vallejo Hot Orange and place a blob of that color on the box, and with a overspilled dark color gives this nice inflammatory pimples. And the orange contrasts really nice to the yellow and green. That music is catchy. I like it. Yeah, just go to White Bat Audio. So, by the way, if you have questions about any of my paint jobs, or if you want to learn any techniques, don't hesitate to ask. I'm happy to provide any sort of tutorial for you. If you want me to paint a Space Marine next, tell me what shadow you would like. So, how's the magnetizing coming along? Any progress reports? Magnetizing is fiddly, only halberds and great weapons left. Good job! By the way, if you want to provide pictures for your miniatures to show off, feel free to post an Instagram link. I am link friendly. Or you can just post stuff in my Discord. I like to meet new people. Yeah. New people are possible new friends. maybe have a topic for me that I can talk about. That I can ramble for another half an hour. I think I posted the last thing I painted onto your Discord community showroom. It was a paladin lady from the Dad's collection of things. Let me quickly finish those box here and then I will have a look. Let's start Discord, by the way. So these miniatures here, this plague bearers, they're in-game quite cheap and quite weak. And why am I painting those? Because I like the miniatures. And I finally wanted to have them painted. They were sitting in my bits box collection for quite some time. Several decades. Let's have a look. Alright, okay. What am I looking for? A paladin lady. Zip. Okay. That was in showcase. Finish work. My miniatures, still my miniatures, still my miniatures, nobody else is posting, my miniatures. Oh, oh yeah. This looks like a paladin. Yeah, nice job. What's our last year? The scope looks faded. Yeah, looks good. I usually paint at my brother's house because he has most of the paints and badges and miniatures, of course. There I recently began a Tyranid of some sort. Also thinking about painting in miniature. Well, yeah, you have a solid basis for painting miniature. You're painting very clean, no overspills I can see here on the miniature. You know how to highlight a miniature. So if you want me to teach you something about miniature painting, then just say what you want to learn and I can provide you that. Well, obviously I can tell that you're relatively new in the hobby, but nevertheless the miniature looks good. Nothing that I can nitpick. Oh, I also am the one who posts Angwan. Oh, That's a really big miniature. To the right. Yeah, this is a big lad. You did quite well with that one. Yeah, you did a really nice job on the sword. No painting mistakes I can see. So, absolutely wonderful. You can be proud of this man. From gray to range. Yeah, it took me like a few months to finish painting that. Yeah, I can imagine. He's quite a large boy, quite a lot of detail that has to be tackled, and you did well. Painted highlights here on the horns, here and there. Looking good. I can definitely see that you put quite a lot of effort in that. It was a birthday gift for my brother. Well, I hope that he appreciates that gift quite a lot. That's a big gift. I let him choose any mini in his collection, and he picked a Big Angry Run. Of course. Of course he did. Go back to my camera view while I'm painting. So, what was his reaction to Big Angry Ron? Or did you not give it to him yet? I don't know when his birthday is or was. Because let's face it, I don't know your brother. That might sound strange, but I don't know everybody. I know a lot of people, but your brother is not one of them. Well, I don't know who your brother is. Maybe I know him. I don't know if I know him. Could be. Definitely something in the realm of the possibility. the most impossible miniature, but I wanted it to be a worthy gift nonetheless. He was really happy with it. He has it on his shelf next to where he works. He looked at it throughout the day. I think he said it's so thick. Yeah, I can definitely see that. A few years ago I painted a miniature for my sister. I 3D printed baby Groot and painted him. And her reaction was, "You're definitely the best painter in the world." That went down like oil. I think it's a nice compliment from Mr. Sister. Yeah, it definitely was. So now I use my brand new Feldherr Größe 3 Kolinsky Rotmarderhaarpinsel. Yay! This was my birthday present. The birthday present I gave myself. How much did that brush cost? This brush cost €9.98 plus shipping. So I bought 2 of those brushes, and overall it came to, I believe, €25. Here's the second one. Ta-da! I always buy 2 of the same brush because you never know which one is better. Sometimes you buy a brush and then it turns out that it is a worse brush. It has quite treacherous hair and doesn't work like you want it to. And so I always buy 2 brushes. That minimizes the chance to have a bad brush in the end. Oh, not too bad for a good quality brush, yeah. So I could definitely buy me brushes for 30 to 50 euros, but in the end, this is all I need. So a size 3 brush, this is perfect. Many people say that size 3 brushes are way too big to paint miniatures, but I always paint with big brushes. This here is a size 4. This is a Da Vinci Mastro, also Kolinsky brush from Da Vinci. And then I have other Da Vinci Harbin Kolinsky, size 4. Then I have a lot of these here, Italeri. Unfortunately, those you can't buy anymore, but I have used quite a lot of them over years. So let's see. Yeah, those are all the ones I've bought over the years. So I was a big fan of those brushes. and every one of them still serves their purpose. So for example, in the beginning of the stream I painted those with this brush here. I used them as stipple brushes, as paint grabbers, as base brushes. So every brush has still their use, even if they are well, way past their prime. So this brush, for example, has not a perfect tip anymore, but it is good enough to be an all-purpose brush. It's a big brush, has a big belly to hold color, and I can, well, relatively good paint miniatures with it. It still has a very nice tip. It's not super fine, but it is good enough for the everyday applications. This brush, on the other hand, is now my go-to perfect brush. When I have super fine detail to paint, I will use this brush now. This will last me, I would say, for about 2 years, until the tip of the brush is worn down to a point that it is an everyday brush, like this one. I definitely need a brush with a decent point on it. The brushes I'm working with are kind of ancient and bent up. Unless I'm broke. Yeah, being broke is always a hassle to get good brushes with. There are some synthetic brushes that you can use, but you will go through quite a lot of synthetic brushes. Last time I used a synthetic brush was this one here. They have a tendency to get a hook quite quickly, and I'm really not a fan of synthetic brushes. Their bristles are stiffer than a Kolinsky brush. They have a different spring to it, and here the tip of the brush is always splitting a little bit with this brush here. Not a big fan. And most synthetic brushes develop a hook at the end instantly. You paint with them for one session, you wash them and dry them, and after that they have a hook. So sometimes there's nothing that you can do about that. So I don't know what country of origin you come from, and what local brush manufacturer you have available for you. If you're in Germany, I can definitely recommend Felter. They make good ones, or Da Vinci. So what I'm doing now here is using dirty down rust on my blades. I'm from the US, Florida. Well, it's a region where I can't really tell you what brush manufacturers are good. I heard that Squidmar is now releasing their brush collection again in America. We're able to ship some brushes to America again. Some Kolinsky Sable brushes. But I bet those brushes are quite expensive. Florida is not my favorite place in the world, to be honest. Well, depending on your affiliation and political views, Florida and Texas are quite hot. I wouldn't want to live there. As a trans woman, I would be fearing for my life. To be honest, I wouldn't want to live in the US right now whatsoever. Where ICE agents can shoot civilians on the street and getting away with it? No, thank you. This is a country I don't want to be associated with. I'm also trans. Ah, yeah. See? If I were you, I would pack my bags and go to a country that is trans-friendly. But just packing a bag and leaving is probably not a viable option. It's easy for me to say for my safety here in Germany. In fact, right now I'm trying to access HRT. It just came back from a therapy appointment and she refused to write a letter of support for HRT, and she said try the psychiatrist. Yeah, getting gender affirming care in America right now is basically a minefield. I wouldn't want to live in your shoes. I can't help but feel I somehow have it better than my trans friend in Poland, though I think they get street harassed. Oh, that's not good. I don't know how the situation in Poland is right now. So from your chat name I can't discern if you are a trans sister or trans brother to me. Rachel Rains. Sorry, I missed the question. I don't know from your username if you are a trans sister or a trans brother to me. Are you an MTF or FDM? Or somewhere in between? Well, if the question is too intimate, you don't have to answer. I was just curious. The question is not invasive, don't worry, I am an open book. The answer is above this. I can't wrap my head around your answer there. The question is not invasive, don't worry, okay, that I can understand. I'm an open book, okay, I can understand it out. The answer is above this. So Sorry, I missed the question. I can't help, but I feel somehow that I have better than my friends from Poland. In fact, I'm trying to food. Just come back from therapy appointment. And she refused to write a letter of support for ADP, and she said, try the psychiatrist. And my friends? No, it didn't say. Well, anyways, my 3 little dudes are done. Yay! Stretch. 1 hour 36 minutes. And non-binary assigned female at birth trying to get testosterone. Ah, neat. So you're in the same boat as Yoka, my streaming partner, or not streaming but podcast partner. So let's clean up my painting desk again for the next session. So I don't start with a messy desk. Everything where everything belongs. Closing every pot so the colors don't dry out. And voila. The desk is clean again. There you have the 2 walkers. Are you a trans woman, Alexander? Yes, yes I am. I am post-OP trans woman 2011. I started my transition in 2007 at the age of 27. I had my gender-affirming surgery in at the 11th of April 2011. Thank you. And congrats to you to well, starting your journey. I hope everything goes as planned for you. So, thank you everybody for joining me on this new stream from GirlPainting. I would love to get surgery, but I have no idea when or if that will happen. Well, in time, we will get there. I think for you, top surgery is at the top of your priorities right now, if I'm guessing correctly. Government coverage doesn't include trans care. Yeah, that's obvious with this moron who is in charge right now. Sorry to say that, but it's the truth. like I said, I would recommend to relocate to a country that is more trends affirming, like Canada, Germany, Finland, those countries. No, you're right. He is a moron and many other despicable things. Yeah. In my opinion, he is the devil incarnate. But that's beside the point. So, again, thank you for everybody for joining my stream here. I hope you had lots of fun. And if you have anything last to say, to ask, to question me, now's your chance. No smoke breaks for me anymore. It's right to me how people don't see what he is, but I digress. Thanks for listening and wonderful painting. Yeah, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for chatting. That helps a lot. I really don't like to talk to the void and nobody is answering. Thank you for that. I really, really appreciate that. And well, we see us in the next video. You're Alexandra.